Have you ever dreamed of exploring the world, of stepping far outside your comfort zone and discovering places you've only seen in photos or imagined in your wildest daydreams? But then reality hits. Travel seems expensive, complicated, maybe even impossible. You wonder if it's just a fantasy for people with deep pockets. For me, travel is about more than just ticking off destinations. It's about tasting new flavors, wandering through unfamiliar streets, and embracing the thrill of the unknown with every step. But what if you only had $100 in your pocket? Could you still chase adventure, or would you have to settle for less? Could you still have an adventure, or would you be forced to watch from the sidelines as others explore? I decided to put it to the test in Vietnam, a country bursting with life, color, and some of the most incredible food on the planet. From the chaotic energy of its cities to the peaceful beauty of its countryside, Vietnam is a place where every moment feels alive. My challenge was simple, but bold. Experience the real Vietnam with just one crisp $100 bill. No backup, no safety net, no fancy hotels, no taxis, no luxury restaurants. Just the basics and a willingness to dive into the unknown. What I did have was curiosity, a hunger for discovery, and the hope of connecting with people along the way. I exchanged my money for a thick stack of Vietnamese dong and for a moment felt like a millionaire. Suddenly every decision mattered, every meal, every bus ride, every little treat. I had to budget carefully, making sure each purchase counted, stretching every dong as far as it would go. But instead of feeling limited, I felt free. This was a game, a challenge to see just how much magic $100 could buy in a place as vibrant as Vietnam. I was ready to walk for miles, eat street food with locals, listen to the music of the city, and soak in every sight and sound I could find. The excitement was real. This is what I live for. The unknown, the challenge, the promise of new stories waiting to be written. Vietnam was calling, and I was answering with a humble budget, an open mind, and a big appetite for adventure. So, come along with me. Let's see what happens when you trade comfort for curiosity and let the journey lead the way. Let's see what treasures we can find together. Hidden gems, unforgettable meals, and moments that money can't buy. How much adventure can you pack into a single $100 bill? Let's find out. Let's go. The journey starts now. You can't just show up with $100 and hope for the best. Sure, there's a certain thrill in winging it, but when you're in a new country, every dollar counts. I'd heard stories of travelers running out of cash halfway through their trip, forced to cut corners or miss out on experiences. That wasn't going to be me. Well, you could, but I wanted my money to last. I wanted to stretch every bill, to make sure I could savor every moment without worrying about running dry. So I sat down, spread out my cash, and started plotting. So I made a plan. 3 days in Vietnam, every dollar with a purpose. I mapped out my route, researched neighborhoods, and read up on local tips for saving money. I wanted to see the real Vietnam, not just the tourist highlights, and that meant being smart with my spending. I split my budget, $40 for food, $45 for a guest house, and $15 for everything else. I even broke it down further. How much for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? How much for a bus ticket or a museum entry? Every cent had a job. Street food would be my best friend, delicious and cheap. I pictured myself sampling steaming bowls of pho, crispy banh mi, and sweet iced coffee from tiny stalls. Eating like a local wasn't just about saving money, it was about tasting the heart of the country. My guest house was simple, clean, and run by a lovely family. No fancy hotels or luxury suites, just a cozy room, a warm welcome, and a chance to connect with people who called this place home. For transport, I'd mostly walk, soaking in the city's details and saving money. Wandering on foot meant I could stumble upon hidden alleys, vibrant markets, and quiet corners that most tourists missed. Local buses or a cyclo ride would cover longer distances. I'd watch the city roll by from a rattling bus window or the seat of a rickshaw, feeling the pulse of daily life all around me. My little notebook became my treasure map, every scribble a step toward adventure. I filled its pages with addresses, food recommendations, and reminders to slow down and look around. This wasn't about restriction, it was about intention. I wasn't limiting myself. I was choosing what mattered most, making every experience count. Every choice would shape my story. Each decision, where to eat, what to see, how to get there, became a thread in the tapestry of my journey. The budget wasn't a cage, it was a key to a different kind of travel. It opened doors to new experiences, to meeting locals, to seeing the world through a different lens. Slower, more deliberate, more connected to everyday life. I wanted to notice the small things, the laughter in a market, the aroma of street food, the rhythm of a city waking up. With my plan set, I was ready to begin. My backpack was packed, my route mapped out, and my mind buzzing with anticipation. The adventure was about to start. The city was waking up, and so was I, hungry for discovery. My stomach was already rumbling, eager for that first taste of Vietnam. Let's see how far $100 can really go. I was determined to make every cent count, to turn a small budget into a big adventure. Time to hit the streets. With a plan in my pocket and curiosity as my guide, I was ready to discover what Vietnam had in store. My first day in Hanoi began with a walk through the Old Quarter, a living, breathing symphony. Motorbikes flowed like a river, horns tooting friendly greetings. I learned to cross the street with confidence, trusting the rhythm of the city. I wandered narrow alleys, passing shopkeepers, the scent of coffee and bread in the air. Women in conical hats carried baskets of fruit and flowers, moving with grace. Every corner revealed something new. Tiny temples, old men playing chess, children laughing. The city itself was a free, open-air museum. The sounds of vendors, sizzling food, and lively chatter blended together. I felt wonderfully small, just a happy observer in this vibrant performance. And I hadn't even had breakfast yet. Let's talk about the best part, food. If you ask me, the heart and soul of Vietnam is found in its street food. The moment you step into a Vietnamese market, you're hit with a symphony of sizzling pans, fragrant herbs, and the lively chatter of locals and travelers alike. With $40 to spend, I dove headfirst into Vietnamese street food paradise, determined to taste as much as possible. The sheer variety is overwhelming, in the best way. My first meal was pho bo, beef noodle soup. The broth was simmered for hours, rich and aromatic, with slices of tender beef and a mountain of fresh herbs. For just $2, it was pure heaven in a bowl, warming me from the inside out. Sitting on a tiny plastic stool, slurping noodles shoulder to shoulder with locals, I felt instantly connected to the city. It's more than just eating. It's sharing a moment, a tradition. Next up, banh mi. The banh mi was a revelation. A crispy baguette, still warm, stuffed with grilled pork, pickled vegetables, and a handful of fresh herbs. The flavors were bright and bold, and at less than $1, it was the best sandwich I've ever had. For dinner, I tried bun cha, grilled pork served with tangy broth, rice noodles, and a garden's worth of herbs. The smoky, sweet pork was unforgettable, and the whole meal cost just a couple of dollars. 3 incredible meals, all for less than $5. It's almost unbelievable how much flavor and variety you can get for so little. My budget was happy, and my stomach was even happier. Every meal felt like a celebration, a chance to try something new and delicious. Food here isn't just cheap, it's a celebration of culture, history, and community. Each dish tells a story, and every vendor has their own secret recipe. Every bite was a new discovery, a burst of flavor that made me want to try even more. Sharing meals with locals, I realized food is the universal language. Even if you don't speak a word of Vietnamese, a smile and a shared table say it all. The best experiences don't have to be expensive. Sometimes the most memorable moments are found on a busy street corner with a simple meal in hand. In Vietnam, flavor is everywhere, and it's always affordable. There's always something new to try, and every meal is an adventure. I couldn't wait to see what I'd eat next. The possibilities seemed endless, and every stall promised a new favorite. Street food truly is heaven, especially in Vietnam, where every meal is a feast for the senses and a memory in the making. Amid Hanoi's chaos, Hoan Kiem Lake is a peaceful oasis. The legend of the returned sword gives the lake a magical feel. I spent an afternoon walking its path, watching couples stroll, artists sketch, and people practice Tai Chi. The Red Huck Bridge led me to Ngoc Son Temple, a quiet spiritual retreat. The tiny entrance fee was well worth it. Inside, incense filled the air and I glimpsed a preserved giant turtle, a nod to the lake's legend. As the sun set, the lake glowed gold, the city slowing down around it. I sat on a bench just watching, soaking in the calm. No need to buy anything. The experience was the treasure. Sometimes the best travel moments are the quiet ones. This was one of them. The true magic of Vietnam. The people. From the start, I was welcomed with warmth and curiosity. A street vendor's laughter as I fumbled for fruit, a young boy helping with the price. Tiny moments, big memories. Lost in the old quarter, a stranger led me back, refusing any reward but a smile. The family at my guest house always asked about my day, offering tea and conversation. These weren't grand gestures, just everyday kindness. They're what I'll remember most. Smiles are free, and they're the best souvenirs. In Vietnam, connection is everywhere. Curious about life beyond Hanoi, I hopped a local bus to a nearby pottery village. The ride cost less than $1, and the scenery changed from city to endless green rice paddies. Farmers in conical hats, water buffalo grazing. Vietnam's countryside was peaceful and beautiful. In the village, pottery filled every courtyard. A friendly potter invited me in, showing me how to shape clay on the wheel. My attempt was wobbly, but we laughed together. No words needed. I bought a tiny hand-painted cup as a souvenir, a memory in my pocket. The bus ride back was quiet and reflective. Just a short trip, but a whole new world. Sometimes the best adventures are just outside the city. Back in my guest house, I tallied up my expenses. $45 for lodging, $38 for food, $12 for adventures. Total $95, $5 left over. But the real value wasn't in what I bought, it was in the experiences. The symphony of Hanoi's streets, the taste of banh mi, the peace of Hoang Kiem Lake, the kindness of strangers, the laughter over pottery. Traveling on a budget forced me to walk more, eat local, and connect deeper. The budget wasn't a barrier, it was a bridge. What can $100 buy? Memories for a lifetime, a deeper understanding of another culture. The realization that the best things, kindness, beauty, connection, often cost very little. My wallet was lighter, but my heart was full. My $100 adventure in Vietnam ends here, but I hope your journey is just beginning. Maybe you've been waiting for someday, but maybe that day is closer than you think. You don't need a fortune to have an adventure. Sometimes all it takes is a little courage and curiosity. Adventure can be anywhere, even in your own city. The spirit of travel is about discovery, not distance. The world is a beautiful buffet and you're invited. If my story sparked your curiosity, join me for more journeys. Subscribe, share your dreams, and become part of this community. Dream a little, make a plan, and go explore. The world is waiting with open arms and a full plate. Go find the stories, the smiles, and the flavors. Until next time, be well and eat well.